All right, I'm going to be showing you guys the fastest VC method in NBA 2K25 after the most recent patch or hotfix, however you want to describe it. And I'll explain that more in a second. But before I do, make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're on the road to 8,000 subs. I would really appreciate it if you guys could help me. Now, that being said, we have a lot to talk about, so let me just continue with the video. Now, first of all, let's talk about the hotfix that 2K did, quote unquote, the patch. This is how they patched this method. Now, if you do the original method that I had shown about a week ago, where you just fell out of the games right away, you're gonna get glitched out of the first season and you won't be able to continue, right? And there's no way to get past that. So now you have to do some extra stuff, and I'll show you guys how to do it. But as a bonus, I'm gonna give you guys a better build to use for this method, and secondly, I'm gonna show you how to make even more VC per season, and I'm gonna give you all the tips and tricks on how to make a lot of VC per game. And it's a little cheese, but let's just get started. Now you want to be a point guard, 6'5", 230, 6'5" wingspan. You want to copy these exact attributes. And I know a lot of people were saying that the original build that I showed in the last method couldn't really shoot the ball, so they were struggling to win the FIBA. This build will have the ability to shoot the ball. The speed will be a little bit worse, though, but still very good build. Now, the team that you go to the first season, right, does matter. And I'll explain more about that in a second. But in the first season, I recommend you go to the Timberwolves. You actually want to go to a good team your first season, which is very different than the last season. Now, the reason that I picked the Timberwolves is because the challenge to become a starter is a 2-star challenge. Now, if there's another team that you can use that is a 1-star, then go to that team. But I just recommend the Timberwolves because it's the best team at 2 stars. Now, if you want to go to the Spurs is also a good team, but Timberwolves, in my opinion, is just a little bit easier. So I would recommend the Timberwolves. So for your settings, you want to go rookie actually for the first season, and I'll explain more about this in a minute. But go rookie while we're setting this up. Go your highlight play camera cuts, after basket camera cuts, and action replays. Turn them off. Make sure you change your commentary language to Spanish, and then if you want to change the audio presentation, you can definitely do that. Another thing you want to do is go to controller settings, put your shot timer profile and real player percentage. Go to animations, and you actually want to pick a jump shot that's fast. Troy Brown Jr. is a jump shot that I recommend that I found. If you don't want to look for one, just use Troy Brown. Pretty good, actually. Now, in terms of the build that I recommended, the reason you're starting off is because you start off with an 83 3-point shot. Yes, you don't get an 88, but you get a 60 speed, which is a lot faster than the other builds that I've shown, and still has pretty darn good shooting. Now, to go into your first game, go ahead to the backstage. I'm going to show you how to do this because everything's a little bit different, but there's a lot of similarities with the old method. All right, so once you get into the personal goals menu, and this is at the beginning of every season, you want to pick NBA Cup Championship, right? You always want to pick NBA Cup Champion. If you do not pick NBA Cup Champion, it does not work, and you have to do this every season. And I know a lot of people ask me about it. Yes, you have to do it every season. Now, we're going to go into your first game, and this is going to sound kind of sad, but I just realized this. For your first game, and this is the only time you ever have to do this, I forgot to mention this, is you want to put your quarter length at 12. Now, go into your first game and drop about 100 points. I know it's kind of annoying. Trust me, you can do it down. You can get it done in 15 minutes, but the amount of VC that you'll make in the long run just by doing this is so much more worth it than fouling out. And also, this is the only way to make the method work. If you foul out, it doesn't work anymore. So go to your first game, drop 100 points. All right, so little quick tip. Make sure you use Unrelenting and Open Season for your GOAT skills. This is just going to make your three-point shot easier to make. You're going to get this every game, so definitely use that, especially for your first game. Also, another pro tip, when you're playing the game and you want to drop 100 as quick as possible, put a half-court trap. You're going to get the ball. It's going to make it a lot easier. You're going to get the ball often. All right, so once you score your 100 points, like I said, it should be pretty easy. Yes, it's going to take you 15, 16 minutes around that time. But all you got to do is just foul out. So I'm going to foul out, and then I'm going to show you what to do afterwards. It's important to remember that, yes, the process is long for the first season, but every season after this will be very easy. I just want to remind you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and foul out, and then I'm going to show you guys what to do. All right, so after your first game, you actually want to become a starter. This is very important. That means you're going to have to play either 2 or 3 more games to become a starter. Very important. I'm going to go ahead and do that. But here's a quick little advice. Only play your key games while becoming a starter. So the easiest way to get in and out of the games to become a starter is to get 5 fouls and then play great in the fourth quarter and just let the game play out. And if you want to foul out after your teammate grade is like a B or a C plus at times works as well, you can do that and save yourself some time. So I'm gonna go ahead and become a starter. Then I'm gonna tell you what to do right after that. All right. So once you become a starter, you want to run and talk to Coach Tucker. Now this is very important because if you don't do this, you will not be able to do this method, and it will glitch out your first season. which will mean you not be able to advance your seasons, which is why I have to make an update. Now, your goal is to actually complete this new quest as well, earn your keep. And I know it can be very annoying, but you have to do it. Like, that's the only way to get it done. If you don't do it, you will not be able to get this method to work. But trust me, don't worry with what we know now. Every season after this is going to be much easier. I just got to remind you guys. So do this. All you have to do is get 20 points and get a teammate grade of B minus or above. Now, since you're a starter, you're able to do the same ask out and sim to end with VC. But quick warning, depending on what game or the key games you are, since you have to play 3, you might have to play a regular season game. For example, my next key game would be 4, then 5, then 6. So that'd be the 3 games that I need to play. So I have to play against Sacramento, then the Clippers, and then whatever key game is the next key game, which would be the 5th. So just a quick warning, make sure you don't play the 6th key game before you complete the challenge. Earn your keep. Trust me, you don't want to do that. All right, so the easiest ways to get through these games is to just get 4 quick fouls. You'll go to the fourth quarter and then just get your 20 points. You should have like a B minus, B plus teammate grade. If you're able to go up more than 25 points, you'll be able to ask out and sim to end with VC and keep some VC, which is the W, but you cannot have more than 5 fouls. All right, so after your first game as a starter, you do have to run to the my court. One of the easiest ways to do that is to change your equipment, and then on the top, just put the gold card. The gold card is a lot faster. All right, once you talk to Patrick, make sure you sign with Jordan. I recommend you keep constantly signing with Jordan for every season that you play on this build. All right, so after you complete the Earn Your Keep quest, you're going to be sent to the front office. Now, you have to do this. If you do not do this, you will not be able to sim to the end of the playoffs or to the playoffs and be able to continue past this season. It will bug out. So, yes, that's why you have to do all these extra steps. This can also send you to the My Court, and then you got to talk to Patrick. Once you talk to Patrick, all right, when you come and talk to Patrick in the My Court, you're going to get the franchise player Patrick's perspective. When it's going to require you to win the championship and complete 2 additional objectives. Now, I'll explain more of this, but this is a very important quest. But before you do that, you have to play your 6th key game and you have to lose intentionally. So make sure you put it on Hall of Fame difficulty. And I've said this before, but the easiest way to lose is to go into the fourth quarter, or if you want to do this in the third, and just spam timeouts and make sure your team goes down under more than 25, and then ask out and sim to end with VC. Just a quick reminder, if you spam timeouts and you keep 4 fouls, you'll be able to make extra VC for the game, but you have to lose it. Once you lose, it's very easy to explain. It's very similar. If you guys already know how to do this, you probably don't have a problem, but it's for those who don't know how to do this. You just get out of the game. As soon as you go into the backstage area, that's the arena, you want to close app. Now, for your first season, I would recommend you change your difficulty from Hall of Fame back down to rookie before you close app. But, but that's up to you. Now, like I said, make sure to close app. If you don't close app, you're going to mess up. So close app and then go back into the save. All right, so once you rejoin, you're going to be able to sim straight to the finals or to the playoffs. You're going to get stopped along the way, especially for the first season and every season afterwards as well. Just keep pressing square and X, pressing square and X, pressing square and X, and you'll eventually get there. All right, so after you're done simming to the playoffs, because it's your rookie year, you're going to have some ridiculous numbers. But the big important part is you're going to make all NBA team, whether the first or second or third team. That's all you need. Now you have to win a championship, and I know it can be kind of tedious, so I'm going to show you guys how to win a championship very easily. Like I said before, the first season is going to take forever, but after this, it gets much easier. Trust me, and this is the only way to do it now, so there's no other way. When you're simming, I recommend you sim 2 games at a time, and if you win, continue to do so. All right, so when you're simming, an easy way to explain what I'm talking about is if you're in a series and the other team wins 2 games, then you want to do what I'm about to show you. You want to play whatever next games, and you might have to play 4 games, but you're going to be able to get out of games in about 2 minutes each. So you go into the game, and then you want to take a 6 to 10 point lead in the beginning of the game when you're a starter. It's obviously a lot easier. And then you're going to sim to end with no VC. But before you do that, I'm going to show you a little trick to safeguard it so you don't have to keep repeating the process, just in case by the lucky or the unlucky chance that the other team wins when you're simming. All right, so once you get a nice lead, I have a 7-point lead. I was trying to get more, but they kept making 3s on rookie, which is crazy. All you got to do is foul and then save and quit my career. This is going to safeguard it. It's going to save you a lot of time because sometimes, especially when you're playing teams like OKC or the Mavs or the Timberwolves or whoever you're playing in your first season, they can be pretty obnoxious to deal with. So if you save and quit My Career, you'll be able to restart this point in case you lose. But as soon as you come back, you sim to end with no VC. As you can see, I lost. So all I got to do is just close app, right? Then I go back into the game, and I'm gonna start off again at that exact point where I have a 7 point lead, and I'm just gonna do it till I get the win. And then once we get to the finals, you do have to play a little bit again in the finals, which can kind of be annoying, but trust me, it will be all worth it once you realize how much VC you make because of it. As you can see, we finally won. Now I'm going straight to the finals, and I'll show you what to do now. All right, so once you play in the finals, there's two ways you can do this. You could either A, play all 4 games and win them and guarantee yourself the finals MVP, or a much easier way to do it, just a little tedious, and there's a risk that you do not get your finals MVP, which would ruin the process, and technically you would have to redo this another season, is to play or to sim 2 games. Now, another thing you can do is just sim a game. If you win, hopefully you win. Now it makes it easier. Then always keep in mind I have 50 points my first game, so I'm probably going to win Finals MVP in that sense. So keep your stats tracked. As you can see, my second game I only dropped 14. So now I have to play the next 2 games and get 40 to 50 points. And like I said, this is the only time you ever have to do this. After this, it gets really easy. You can make a lot of EC without having to do anything. So I'm gonna go in these games. I'm gonna drop 40 in each of them in the first half, whatever. I'm just gonna get them out of the way, and then I'll show you what to do when you win Finals MVP because it's a very important process. All right, so once you're done with the finals, that means you're pretty much done setting up this method. Now you're going to be able to make all the VC as fast as possible. Now, the cool part is you're going to be able to do 24 seasons without having to do this again, which is an absolute W, or 23 seasons if you count this one. But you do need Finals MVP, very important. The only way you won't need Finals MVP is if by chance you get the MVP of the regular season, then you just have to win the championship. That would be the biggest W, but that's not easy to guarantee. So that's why I prefer, going for the Finals MVP a lot more. But here's another pro tip: you don't have to do the FIBA qualifier. You don't. You don't have to do the FIBA qualifier or the FIBA friendlies. You just have to do the FIBA games. Make sure it says FIBA games, and that's what you need to pick. Besides that, you can just pick the Art of Shooting or the Brickley's Gem, whatever it's called, and then you can run to the arena. Also, quick reminder: sign a Jordan every single year, even if it's Finals MVP or whatever the quest is. Eventually, you start getting the 1,000 VC bonus for just signing with them, which is a huge W in my opinion. Make sure you use the Cup Championship season goal method every single season to speed things up. If you don't, it's going to be very slow. So just a quick reminder. All right, so at the start of your second season, first thing you want to do is run to the practice facility, and you're going to get an interview because you completed the Patrick's Perspective. Once you run in here, you're just going to go through, answer the questions. It doesn't matter how you answer. All right, so after that quest, that actually unlocks the media photo shoot. So after every season, beginning in the third, or at the start of every season, beginning in the third, you'll get 2,500 VC for the start of the season. All right, so once you get to the playoffs of the second season, since you can't swap teams, you're going to make the playoffs. Now, all you got to do is just keep simming. Eventually, you'll probably end up losing. If you don't, it's okay, but just keep simming. If it doesn't let you sim, like right here, I ended up losing. Make sure you don't use the next round. You just sim towards the game 7. Once you get to game 7, then you can sim to next round. And if you lose, it's perfect. So as you can see, I got out of here. I'm finally done. The Mavericks won, but that doesn't matter at all. And now I'm pretty much done with the method. I can keep playing this. Now, like I said this before, you don't have to play any of the FIBA exhibition or friendly matches. You have to play the FIBA games. And if you read there, it says future FIBA game rewards up to 25,000 VC. So make sure you play the FIBA games, only the FIBA games. You don't have to worry about the other 2 games, only the FIBA games, right? Now, once you do that, by the way, this is where the VC method kicks in. And I'm going to show you guys a little strategy because, yes, you could foul out, but I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do it where you make a lot of VC as well. Now, also, I'm going to show you what the bonus of doing this method instead of the other one is. So let me get into the arena and I'll show you. All right, so at the start of the season, you're going to get the Media Day photo shoot. Now, this right here is going to give you a lot of VC in the long run, and trust me, I'll explain that in a second. But all you have to do is run outside of the arena, and this has to be done before you sim any games, before you play your first game. If not, it will break the game, and you will not be able to get your VC. All you have to do is talk to the lady. You can just hold X, skip this little introduction cutscene. You can pick whatever you want, but if you pick solo and whatever, you get 1,000,000 fans, which in my opinion is a huge W. Now, that being said, check this out. One thing about it is never forget to collect your endorsements. As you can see, mine are pretty much all, well, not all of them are unlocked, But once they all unlock, I'll collect the VC, and it's 9,000 extra VC. But the 2,500 VC that you get every season from the media day photo shoot, the 1,000 VC that you will get every day, every season for signing with your shoe brand, and then the 1,000 VC you get from just simming through the season equals to an extra 4,500 VC at bare minimum per season. Now, that's a very important thing because with this method, you actually don't want to restart your build. You want to play all the seasons until it forces you to retire. That way, you never have to go through the long setup process. And so you make a lot of VC. And I'll do the math and I'll put it at the end of the video and show you guys how much VC you'll make, assuming you get through the first seasons as quick as possible. You unlock the media day photo shoot and you keep re-signing with the same shoe brand and you do it every single season for, I believe you get 22 seasons. All right, so I actually ended up doing the math for you guys. So I'm going to tell you guys, and I'm going to try to put it all on screen as well. But for those wondering where you get the VC, if you do what I'm recommending, which is to stay on one build and just finish it out until you retire, you should be able to do 24 seasons in total. You'll be able to play 6 FIBA quests, which will be a total of 150,000 VC. Your shoe endorsements after your 4th season start giving you 1,000 VC as a bonus. So you're making another 20,000 VC minimum from that. The media shoot is another 22 because you get it at the start of your 3rd. And if the last one would be at the start of your 24th season, that's an extra 55,000 VC. The season quest, every time you sim through the season, every time you lose the 6th game, actually, you get 50 or 1,000 VC. You do that 23 more times. Besides the first one, I don't know why I didn't include the first one, but you're looking at about 23,000 VC for that. The 9,000 from endorsements. And then key games. Now, key games is put at the end because, and I'll explain more in a second, they do make a lot of VC. You're looking at 92,400 VC, just counting 22 seasons, not even counting 23 or 24. It's really closer to the 100,000 range. But I didn't want to put that math there just because key games, some people will like to play them and get VC from them, and some people won't. And so now, how about the amount of VC you make in total and per hour? So if you do the 24 seasons, and by the way, each season after your first 2 is going to take about 20 to 30 minutes. So assuming your first season takes an hour and 20, maybe an hour and 40, it's going to take you about between 8 to 10 to maybe 11 hours just to complete all the 24 seasons if you're going full meta mode. And here are the numbers for that, by the way. If you do that, you're going to make 257,000 bare minimum if you're not, without counting the first 2 seasons or the key games, bare minimum. This is just from the FIBA quests and the media shoots, the season quests, and the shoe endorsements, right? That's it. Bare minimum, 257,000. If you include the key games, you're making over 349,000 VC. Now, per hour, without key games, you're looking at between 25 to 32,000 VC per hour, right? And with key games, you're looking at 35 to 43,000 VC per hour. Now, keep in mind, there's a lot of factors into this. You can definitely pick and choose. Obviously, the VC amount is not exactly accurate. But another cool part about doing the 24 seasons, if you stay on the same team, you might still get GOAT Dynasty, and you might still get the greatest of all time and the Hall of Fame quest. I'm not really sure, how long it would take or if it's plausible, but I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, it's plausible. That would give you another 10,000 bare minimum and another 20,000 from the Hall of Fame quest and the GOAT Dynasty. But I can almost guarantee you're getting an extra 10K from the GOAT Dynasty or from the greatest of all time because you're going to average like 40 points per game for the whole career. So you'll probably get GOAT no matter what. But that's just the numbers. I know a lot of people asking. So you're looking between 25 to 32,000 VC without key games and between 34 or 35,000 to 44,000 VC with key games per hour. Now, the grind with key games is a lot harder. Yes, it is. And it does take longer to do the seasons, but that is the range. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a lot longer, but I had to do it. This is probably my final VC method regarding the 3-season. The 3-season method is now no longer a 3-season method. The fastest VC method, that's what I'm going to call it. But I do have another one for the ultimate VC method coming. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Anyways, that's it for me. I am so happy I'm done. God bless you. Jesus loves you. Hope you guys get saved soon and take care. Goodbye.